Aloha, everyone. Today was definitely a very impressive day for the overall stock market. If you read the nightly analysis that I pen every single night, you will see that I said that we need to have an open mind here despite all the negativity that was out there and the bearish setups, because this market has just proved that anything can happen. And damn, if that wasn't spot on call. The Russell 2000 at one point intraday traded down to 1116.13, which allowed it to have a new 2-day low. It then reversed off those new lows, rallied all the way back, closing near the high day, up 0.86%. And while on the surface that wasn't a great day, that was a very nice engulfing day to a pattern that looked like early on that we were going to continue the sell-off. On top of that, the NASDAQ bounced right at the 50-day moving average on above average volume. And remember, the previous broadening formations, while they haven't worked necessarily, the one earlier in the year, the second one, still after a minor sell-off, we went new highs. So it's just going to be a choppy market. But with the NASDAQ bouncing here and the TQQQQ getting some volume, and my SQQQ hedge, which is coming off 50%, coming under some serious selling, it's just another hint that, man, maybe we have indeed, found the lows. While I'm not going to go ahead and say that for sure, I do know one thing. I want to switch my operational models, the way that I operate in this market, to a neutral condition along everything. The S&P 500 also bouncing right out of its 50-day moving average on volume, heavier than the day before. Nice reversal. And the SPXL gave a pocket pivot point buy signal. So overall, some good signs. I still need to see new highs in these indexes before I go straight up buy signal, go back to adding on huge positions. But with everything else showing up, I mean, we need to look at all these stocks that I flagged. Wage, as I posted on StockTwits, looks like it's been bottoming. Then you have SEP, looks like it's bottomed. You have Skull, that looks like it wants to put in a bottom. TXTR looks like it wants to put in the bottom. And then let's look at all the biotech stocks that we're not going long today. ALGN, AGN, ALXN, AGN, BIIB, CellG, just a lot of good movers, including like Expedia. Sorry that I skipped into that. I just happened to look at it. AKRX right off the 50-day moving average. Some other stocks, RFMD. This has been a leader right off the 50-day moving average. UHS breaking out to a new high. TMO right off the 50-day moving average. C&Q right off the 200-day moving average on strong volume. DZZ confirming the weakness in gold and the strength in the dollar, hitting more new highs. GTIM, a speculative stock that I was watching base here, is broken out today. Costco breaking out with a pocket pivot point signal. So just overall, a lot of very positive signals. And look what's going on in Thailand, a breakout to a new high over there. So just some very solid signals. Overall, making it hard to be too bearish here, even if you were extremely bearish. We really weren't. See, I'm not going to get bearish until I start to see interest rates rise, and it's going to take more than 1 or 2, 3 interest rate hikes in a row. We're going to get very bearish really quick. But for now, the CSIQ setting up in a potential, consolidation pattern. Loco doing the same thing. And what the hell? Look at GoPro since the very beginning, first day. If we just would have gone along that, you'd be up 150% now. And that breakout to a new high that we passed on like idiots, up 60%. On top of that, a recent short position that we were talking about yesterday, couldn't get shares in IB. This thing is now down 30% since the intraday short sell signal that I gave in the chat room. So overall, everything appears to be working. And on top of this, once again, like, nobody talked about the golden cross in the United States dollar back in July, and that's always a hint, that something's good. And like everybody was talking about the death cross in the Russell 2000, when everybody sees something, it normally doesn't work. Everybody sees this death cross in the Russell 2000, so it probably isn't going to work. Why didn't anybody see the golden cross in the dollar when it worked? I don't know, but they didn't. And another thing that they're not seeing right now is not only have, all of these stocks like Citigroup, Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley, JP Morgan already had their golden crosses, but now Bank of America looks like it wants to do its golden cross also. So there's just a lot of positive action out there, which then leads us to this. Before we go to the new buys, going to go over 2 sells. House cleaning, ENPH bucked the trend of the market. That's another 50% sell. Won't be a full sell till it closes below the 50-day moving average. And then NVGS in a very shocking reversal. Did not expect this at all from this one. 75% sell, still holding the 50-day moving average and lower day of the signal date, preventing a full sell. But it did not move higher immediately, and it's kind of shocking that it did this on such a strong day in the market overall. But now here's the more shocking of everything. 7 new long positions, and a buy stop order going on the books tonight. So the new long positions basically all center around one sector, biotechnology. The earnings and sales growth is absolutely huge across the board, and a breakout to new highs in a market that's not hitting new highs tells you that this is the leader. So with this Ultra NASDAQ Biotechnology ETF, I want to only make this a 2% position because we've been shaking out a lot, and my new, not really confident on my new long signals. And with it being up almost 6% today, it's pretty risky here, but it looks like a fresh breakout. And I tell you what, I'd rather buy it, be wrong, and instead of watching it, I'd rather buy it and be wrong than instead not buy it and watch it go up 20-25% here in a very short amount of time. And the reason why I could do that is because look at all of these long signals we got tonight. So Jazz Pharmaceuticals is not only in our CanSlim scan, but it's in our Perfect Speculator scan. It's breaking up above a short-term downtrend line connecting these highs. The breakout's on a below average volume, but you can see it found solid support at the previous lows and right at the 50-day moving average. Basically a low risk signal for this one. So Jazz is a 2.5% position. PCRX bouncing right off the 50-day moving average on well above average volume. Once again, since it's up 5% and because recent long positions have not been working very well for us, leading into today, which should be irrelevant, but I have to take it into consideration, it's only a 2.5% signal. And then we have GILD, Gilead Sciences, breaking out to a new high on above average volume, another biotech stock that just looks strong as can be. This one is also going to be a 2.5% position. And then the final biotech long that we are actually taking tonight is one that I personally haven't been following, but today it showed up in the Perfect Speculator scan. This is its very first day ever in the Perfect Speculator scan. Breakout to a new high on strong volume. This with a pocket pivot point signal the day before, mind you. This is also a 2.5% position. All of these final cut losses are closes below the low a day of the signal dates or the 50-day moving average, whatever you feel comfortable with. Me, it would be like 75% below the day lows and then the rest below the 50-day moving average if it even gets that long, or the recent lows like on BIB, it would be 101.42. Now on top of that, we also have two other long positions in non-biotech stocks. This one is a new addition to the Perfect Speculator scan, RentTrack Corporation. RentTrack is breaking out above what I wanted to do is have a buy stop set at 56.86. I thought it would consolidate more. If I would have done it, I would already be long as it hit 56.88. As it is, closed at 56.80, so we're going to be going long here with the previous day pocket pivot point signal, the now breakout above the recent resistance. This is also only a 2.5% position because it's up 5%. Now that leads us to our only 5% position of the night, MFRM. I wanted to set buy stop orders just above these recent highs here, but it's moving today on a very strong price move above yesterday's high day on well above average volume with an increase in BOP. All of that's good to me because it really limits our risk. Instead of having to wait to initiate a buy stop order, I can go ahead and get long here based on that volume confirmation move and not have to risk as much if I'm wrong as I would if the buy stop was triggered. But with that being said, with the 5% position here, there is another stock that I'm actually going to wait till it does hit new highs because the new highs aren't that far away from where it is now. PanW is also on the line to be a new long. PanW, as you can see here, the recent highs right here of 102.45, 175, and 101.21. So what level am I going to use for the buy stop? It's going to be the 101.21 level. So I'll put my buy stops just slightly above that level. A close here at 99.14 is good. You can go ahead and get long here in anticipation of the breakout. But I would rather wait just in case it is going to consolidate further. We do get new long signals. I'd rather put the money to work now. But PanW is setting up for a breakout, a very tight consolidation, longer term chart pattern. You can see how tight the price action is here. Very, very, very coiled. So we'll see if it works out. But the bottom line is it appears that the market's found a floor. And the biotechnology stocks and the healthcare stocks are leading by far, already hitting new highs. well ahead of the rest of the market. So with everything out there, we have to go to a neutral condition and we'll see what happens. Like I said, we have to keep a very open mind here. Don't forget that even though this is the worst week seasonally for the stock market going back to 1950, we are also in the technically most bullish period for stocks possible. A sixth year of a two-term presidential cycle. They normally end the presidential second term with a big bang bull market. Technically, we bottom right around these next couple of weeks and then rally way into the year end, especially during the sixth year of a presidential cycle. So it's a very seasonally bullish time, not exactly right now, but coming up. So all of that must be taken into consideration. Thank you.